Just after 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert and Erin. Miss Erin, local news. Lots of that, and it's next.
Bossier teachers could be getting a hefty pay raise. We'll talk more about that. Reducing bail for an accused animal abuser? It's not going to happen. And the Clean City fee gets a big hashing out today.
Just lots. I mean, it's just, I made a list, and there's 4 or 5 things, and you covered them. Oh. And then I had this metaphysical experience, and then I had, my identity was stolen. And I told you about that on the phone last.
Yes, and man, have I gotten some texts.
Really?
Ooh, Lord.
Give me a hint about what?
Security and the mayor.
Fletcher and sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, right here on KEEL.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
The Bossier School Board wants voters to approve a bond issue to boost pay for teachers and all school system workers. Superintendent Scott Smith tells me how much money we're talking about.
It's a straight $7,200, for all professional employees, and a straight $3,000. For instance, for bus drivers, it'd be around a 15% pay increase.
This would be a property tax millage increase. It would cost the owner of a $250,000 home about $33 more a month. Smith says the board has voted to put this on the ballot May 4th. Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards convicted of murder last week in the stabbing death of Airman First Class Bradley Hale. Today, the 7-member jury will resume deliberations to decide Edwards' fate. The prosecution asking the panel for the maximum sentence of life in prison. The defense has asked that Edwards receive no more than 10 years. A judge refuses to reduce bail for an accused animal abuser. Matt Parker with that.
A Bossier Parish judge has refused a motion to reduce bail for a Bossier City police officer accused of 40 counts of sexual abuse of animals. Terry Yetman is accused of possessing and participating in pornography involving animals. The judge also ruled that state police had sufficient evidence to arrest Yetman. Yetman remains locked up and is being held on a $350,000 bond. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The Shreveport Council expected to discuss Mayor Adrian Perkins' $18 a month Clean City fee at today's meeting. The fee would be used to pay for trash service in the city and give sanitation workers a raise. It would also shore up the city's reserve fund. Several council members telling KEEL News, while they agree the sanitation department needs more money, they're not sure a monthly fee is the answer. Former Congressman John Fleming is looking at the possibility of jumping into the governor's race. LSU's political science professor Jeff Sato says the news is surprising considering the timing.
If he had really been interested, you might have expected it to be shortly after Senator John Kennedy said he wasn't going to run.
Fleming currently serves as Deputy Assistant Secretary of Health Information Technology Reform. Louisiana's top higher education board found that college freshmen admitted without meeting its minimum standards had lower grades and were less likely to graduate. The Board of Regents survey tracks students admitted to public colleges over the last 2 years. The report says the GPA for those students averaged 2.0. The partial government shutdown stretches into its 32nd day, with another missed paycheck looming for hundreds of thousands of workers. The Saints beginning the process of trying to move on from a disappointing finish to the season. It seemed like New Orleans was destined to play in the franchise's second Super Bowl, only to see those dreams fall apart. Cornerback P.J. Williams says they have to look forward and not back.
You got to be able to move on from stuff like this, man. You got to have a short memory because you don't want it to affect your life or affect your career. So I feel like the main thing, you got to just really think about it and know that you got to move on from things like this because it's over.
More than 400,000 Saints fans are demanding a rematch of the NFC Championship game. They've all signed an online petition calling for just that. What movies make the list of the worst of the year? Well, the Razzies are out. A couple of the big ones on the list: John Travolta's Gotti, along with Will Ferrell's comedy Holmes and Watson. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Ten past 6 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Traffic for Tuesday. Here's Ruben.
Starting your day off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Duettig at the Weather Channel.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 12 after 6 o'clock. Boy, did I have a day yesterday.
Boy, did you ever.
Holy crap.
Man.
I mean, you never think that, and I guess to this point, I've gotten off pretty lucky.
Mm-hmm.
And it's basically, it's an identity theft. No, it's not. It's a hacking issue.
Yeah.
That somebody's gotten into a whole bunch of my stuff.
Ooh, boy.
Did I mention the website to you on the phone last night?
Yeah, you did.
Parky, are you familiar with a computer term, and it's spelled like owned, only it's P-W-N-E-D, and they say pwned. Have you seen that? Have you heard that word?
Not in like 10 years.
The website is Have I Been Pwned? Have I Been, P-W-N-E-D.com.
P-W-N-E-D.
Like
okay.
owned with a P.
Okay.
And you can go there and put in your email. And I was told by a couple of folks that are like IT people that it's a very reputable site. And you go there, you type your email in, you hit enter or whatever it is, and it searches any hacking or data leak where your information has been accessed.
Wow.
And there was one in all this list that I looked at for early January of this year, January of 19.
Man.
And I'll tell you the whole story in a little bit, but all the money is still there. So.
Good, thank goodness.
You had looked like you had a question.
I'm just disappointed my scheme didn't work.
It's not even February yet.
Oh, man.
Okay, so yesterday morning we had a chat with Bossier School Superintendent Scott Smith. Now, originally, John Bell wanted $1,000 for teachers.
He still does.
And teachers are saying, well, what percentage? And we get caught up in so many other things. What percentage of a teacher's salary comes from the state?
Ooh, I don't know. That's a good question.
Neither do I.
Not sure.
Text Mr. Scott. Text Lamar. See what they. I mean, if John Bell's saying, I want $1,000 for teachers, and he's spending your money, he can. I want a $5,000. Well, you know what? In Bossier, the school board has recommended, and I guess it's going to go to the ballot early May, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what Scott Smith talks about.
Yes.
Is a $7,200 annual salary for teachers, and that's kind of where we started. There was a school board meeting, and
last Thursday night, the board actually made a historic vote to give a significant pay increase to our educators, all of our employees of our school system. It would be a straight $7,200 pay increase for our professional employees and $3,000 for our support employees. More importantly, it very much targets, obviously, our teachers, where we have had trouble being competitive in pay, even with our surrounding parishes, DeSoto Parish being one of our largest competitors, obviously, in this area. They're a very, very high-performing school district.
Is this a property tax?
But it is a property tax. That's correct. That would require a millage. And the millage to be able to pay for this entire amount of the property tax would be at 22.94 mills.
How much does that mean for me?
Well, it depends on, obviously, the amount of property, that you own and what it's valued. Let's just say that someone had a $250,000 home. With a $250,000 home, then they're probably looking at around a little over $33 increase in their property taxes per month.
Per month.
So that would be around the average, I would say, cost of a home in Bossier Parish.
Mr. Scott, partner, that's a pretty good $7,200 a year. Let's see, $20 a week at $1,000. You're talking about $150 a week here. How did you come to that figure? Did you sit down with teachers, union bosses? Did you sit down with principals? Did you sit down with other people in Bossier government? How did you work that out?
Right. Well, we talked to a lot of people. I mean, we're actually over about $5,500 less per year with our first-year teacher pay than DeSoto Parish. And, it's very disheartening, because we have to recruit. And our object is to retain and recruit the very best teachers we can for our classroom. And it's very disheartening when we're at a recruiting event, whether it's East Texas, Arkansas, Northwest Louisiana, and, they just walk by your table and these teachers are looking at the pay. Now, I know that pay is not everything, but it is pretty significant, especially when you're trying to recruit and get your best, because many of these teachers come out of college and they have college loans that they're having to pay for and so forth. And so we aim to be competitive, and I think that this would put us above the DeSoto Parish, and a beginning teacher would make right around $50,000, so it would be a significant pay increase. It would give us a significant recruiting advantage, and also retaining our very best that we have right now, and not lose teachers to other school systems that pay higher. We know that we have great benefits. Mm-hmm. That we have really good benefits, and this is like pieces of a puzzle. And it's kind of a triumvirate of a puzzle, and three pieces here We know that we have good benefits. We know that we have great working conditions. But the thing that we really have been lagging behind in is in teacher pay and trying to get them competitive, with even just surrounding parishes.
$50,000 for beginning teacher, average teacher salary for others. What would that go to? And when is this going to be on the ballot?
We're talking about, we're looking at actually what the teachers would do. We're looking at approximately 17% increase for beginning teachers, and then it would move down to about a 12% for those that are at the 28-year mark, because that's the last year that we actually have a step in pay increase for our teachers. And of course, it's a straight $7,200, for all professional employees, and a straight $3,000. For instance, for bus drivers, it'd be around a 15% pay increase. We're looking to be on the ballot on May 4th of 2019. So that'll be this May 4th, 2019.
Important to you that teacher pay comes from locals rather than looking to the state to boost teacher pay? I mean, the governor's talking about teacher pay, but you guys aren't waiting. You're like, we're going to do it ourselves.
Well, here's the thing. We can't wait for the state. I don't know what the reason or the purpose. I know that there's been talk about asking for $1,000 for teacher pay, and I think $500 maybe for support employee pay. But there's nothing for sure on that. We can't wait on the state. We have an issue now that we have to deal with, and I think that our public has come through for the most part. I will say, Erin, that these are the two issues that did not pass back in 2012. Back 7 years ago, when we were trying to we had three issues on the ballot. We had one, construction, that did pass, and then we had the pay increase, and then we also had infrastructure for technology. And of course, that's the other issue that's on the ballot as well, is infrastructure for technology. Our infrastructure, we've added 14,500 devices for our students just over the past 2 years alone. And this is a massive increase. And it's everything that you don't see is where we're needing a massive amount of help. And our infrastructure is beginning to crumble. It cannot keep up with everything that we need to assist those devices that the students are using in the classroom. And we're already way behind on that. We're constantly in the repair mode, but it's to the point where it can't be repaired.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Sports just ahead. Fletch is standing by. Right now, here's Ruben.
Starting your day off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school. But look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Those showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
KEEL Sports Update time. Here's Tim.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The NFL remains silent regarding the botched no call in the waning moments of Sunday's NFC Championship. Saints head coach Sean Payton told reporters after the game the league office acknowledged officials missed a pass interference call with 1:40 to play in the game against the Rams. Saints owner Gail Benson vowed Monday to pursue rule changes that would prevent the events that helped end her team's season from happening again. Drew Brees and wide receiver Michael Thomas backed out of this weekend's Pro Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Former Houghton Buccaneer and Cowboy starter Dak Prescott, along with his wide receiver Amari Cooper, were chosen as their replacements. The Mudbugs vaulted from fourth place in the NAHL South Division to a tie for second with Monday afternoon's 6-3 win over the Lone Star Brahmas on the road. Mason Balboa earned the win between the pipes. Last year's Robertson Cup champions open a 9-game homestand Friday against Topeka. With Anthony Davis on the shelf the next week or so, the Pelicans needed someone to step up. Last night in a 105-85 win over Memphis on the road, that person was Jahlil Okafor, who posted a season-high 20 points and matched his best effort of the year with 10 rebounds. The Beast of the East, Milwaukee, topped the Mavericks 116-106. Dallas rookie Luka Doncic had his first triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. In Golden State's Klay Thompson tied an NBA record by hitting his first 10 three-pointers en route to a 44-point effort. The Warriors easily dispatched the Lakers 130-111 for their 8th straight win. And in high school hoops, Bossier topped Woodlawn in front of a packed house 75-66. The top-ranked Bearcats moved to 21-3 overall, 7-0 in district play. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
I didn't know that. When you go to buffet, you dish the food on your plate by hand?
No.
If you listen to Matt talk.
I know. Matt's...
Erin is a carrier of germs, and people like her. Disease.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Matt's talking, I don't eat at buffets.
He's
and
an
I
idiot.
said, why? He says, because like people like McCarty, like they'll get up there and they'll use their shoe instead of the spoon.
Yeah.
No, they dig in their noses and cough all over the plates.
I'm not touching the food, and I don't dig in my nose.
What do you think that sneeze guard? It's specifically there for you.
Man. Who's behind this getting your identity? Who wants to be Robert J. Wright?
No. It's not like that.
They just want your money.
I haven't gotten it yet. Okay, so here's the deal, and we'll cover this now, and I'll give more detail as the morning rolls on. Is last Thursday, I got an email from Amazon saying that they've reset my password at my request.
Uh-oh.
Except for one thing.
No request.
I hadn't requested my password reset.
Ooh, Lord.
So I called Amazon, and they explained that, first of all, I had to prove to them it was me.
Sure.
And we walked through the process, and we changed it back, or we changed it around, etc.
Mm-hmm.
So then on, let me think a second. On Saturday, I was locked out of my Facebook account because someone tried to get into it from Jersey City, New Jersey.
Oh, boy.
So I had to get back, and I had to reset all of that stuff. On Sunday, let me think a second, because there's about 4 or 5 others. The point is, somebody's been eBay. My eBay, get an email from eBay. You've successfully changed your password.
Oh, my goodness.
So
People can buy cars on eBay. Did you know that?
I know somebody who did. But so I went and changed all of that. I talked to a couple of IT people, and they asked if I'd gotten any unusual emails. And I said, yes, actually, yeah, but I deleted them. And they said, you didn't open them. I said, well, there were like links. I didn't know. They said, no, you didn't open them. I said, you mean by just like, because on my home email, it automatically is up. Right. Whatever the highlight is on, it's automatically up on the. I've got like the scroll on the left-hand side and the email on the right-hand side.
Right.
So if the scroll is on the left, if it's highlighted, it's open on the right-hand side of the screen. Mm-hmm. And he said, that's all you got to do with those. I said, what? So the point being that it's been Amazon twice, Facebook, eBay, my home email. I was locked out of that for about 45 minutes yesterday because somebody changed the password. Somebody attempted to get into my Chase account and my PayPal account. So there you go. But everything's there. I spent the amount of time I spent on this just double checking everything and changing everything took me from about 5 or 5:15 yesterday until about, what time did I talk to you? About 8:15 or 8:30?
Yeah.
I had just wrapped up. So
wow.
So
what a mess.
Yeah. Well, and I'm
You're
lucky.
going to still have to watch it for a while now,
And
right?
I'm lucky.
Yeah, no kidding.
Nobody's gotten anything. I mean, I was looking at the amounts. I was looking at this and some other stuff. No, it's all there.
Mm-hmm. Golly. God, you were lucky. You really were lucky.
But you need to take a look at that website. Have I been pwned is how they said it. PWNED. Have I been. PWNED.com.
Will you put the link to that up and just explain how it works?
Yeah, just put your...
People are listening. They want to know. They're driving around. They
pull it up right now. Take a look at it. We got a second.
Okay.
Because there were since about 2017, there were 4 security data breaches where
Check if your email's been compromised.
Yeah, put your email. Put your home email in. Put your home email in. Sorry, and hit the enter.
Really?
Or
Put my home one?
Yeah. Work doesn't matter. You don't run money through home.
I don't use my personal one at all, ever.
Really? So you buy stuff?
Oh yeah.
Off your work email?
Oh yeah.
Seriously?
Oh no, it says pwned. 8 breached sites found no pastes. Okay. Breaches you were pwned in. It goes through. Oh, it's nothing. Coupon Mom. Nothing I really
Mine was there was one called Evictus or something like that was massive that I was part of.
MySpace?
Yeah, that goes back a lot. What's that, 2016 though?
Yeah, 2016.
Yeah. The most recent one where my info was stolen with about 1 billion other people.
Exactus?
That was it. Okay, Exactus.
I got an Exactus one on here.
But the first one, the most recent one that I had was was January of this year. So
I got one January 2019.
That's me. Have I been? It's roll of the dice, man.
What does it say if yours has been pwned? What does it say?
It's too much to get into on the
Okay.
But have I been pwned? PWNED.com.
Interesting.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Erin has local news up next. Yes, I will be very alert for the next 10 days or so. Traffic update. Here's Ruben.
Starting your day off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel.
information. KEEL News now.
The Bossier School Board wants voters to fund a teacher pay increase. Superintendent Scott Smith says with the state proposal pending, it's just not enough.
We can't wait for the state. I don't know what the reason or the purpose. I know that there's been talk about asking for $1,000 for teacher pay, and I think $500 maybe for support employee pay. But there's nothing for sure on that. We can't wait on the state. We have an issue now that we have to deal with.
Smith says if approved, this property tax increase would boost pay by $7,200 for professional employees and $3,000 for support workers. Now, this would be a property tax millage increase, costing the owner of a $250,000 home about $33 more a month. A Bossier Parish judge refuses a motion to reduce bail for a Bossier police officer accused of sexual abuse of animals. Terry Yetman accused of possessing and participating in pornography involving animals. The judge also ruled that state police had sufficient evidence to arrest Yetman. He remains locked up. It's being held on a $350,000 bond. Deliberations continue in a Barksdale Airman's murder trial. Matt Parker with the latest.
Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards was convicted of murder last week in the stabbing death of Airman First Class Bradley Hale. Today, the 7-member jury will resume deliberations to decide Edwards' fate. The prosecution is asking the panel for the maximum sentence of life in prison without parole. The defense has asked that Edwards receive no more than 10 years. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport Council expected to talk about Mayor Perkins' $18 a month Clean City fee at today's meeting. The fee would be used to pay for trash service in the city and give sanitation workers a raise. The mayor also says without having to pay for trash services, the city could start building back up the reserve fund. Several council members telling KEEL News that while they agree the sanitation department needs more money, they're not sure if a monthly fee is the answer. More than 400,000 Saints fans demanding a rematch of the NFC Championship game. An online petition demanding that the NFL order a rematch between the Saints and the Rams is gaining traction and has been signed by more than 400,000 folks. Former Congressman John Fleming considering a run at the governor's mansion. According to several sources, Fleming strongly considering running for governor this year. If he does decide to jump in, he would be joining fellow Republicans Ralph Abraham and Eddie Risponi in the race. Now, as the 2020 presidential primary takes shape, almost no policy is too liberal for Democrats fighting to win over their base, that base demanding a nominee dedicated to pursuing bold action. So far, virtually all the likely candidates have embraced universal health care in one form or another. Local officials in Texas calling for an end to the partial government shutdown as it continues into its 5th week. Attorney Thelma Clardy gathered with a group outside the federal building in Dallas to raise concerns. The acting chair of the Southwest Dallas County Democrats spoke on the Fox TV affiliate about the lack of progress being made.
I don't blame anybody. What I do regret is that our congressional leaders and the president can't come together to the table to work out a compromise. So they need to do the job that we pay them to do.
800,000 federal employees are being affected. Big oops for Fox and Friends. They showed a graphic saying Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg had died. They've apologized, blaming a control room error. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. We're here.
1017 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, real short segment. And I'll talk about this after 7 o'clock. Do you remember about a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, when it first started to like pop into my head when remember the story, and this is the original time. One night at home, a kid that I had been in 7th grade with at Our Lady of the Assumption Catholic School in Charlotte, North Carolina, named Mike Melville, popped into my head. I mean, literally popped into my head. And I had not, when we went to grade school together for the year and a half, we were not close friends. We were just in the same class.
Right.
And I would wager I had not thought about Mike Melville of Charlotte, North Carolina in probably 55 years.
Okay.
And one night he just pops into my head.
Wow.
And so I Googled Mike Melville.
Oh, no.
He had died the day before.
Oh, wow.
Remember I told you? And then
Yes.
there was a series of, what was it, about maybe 10 or 12 people where people that I knew.
Stop thinking about people.
Look, they're already dead. It's not like, you said, don't think about me. No. If you pop into my head, you're already deceased.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah.
It's not like I'm thinking, but this isn't scanners. Your head's not going to explode if I focus on you. The point I'm making is it had been about a year or so since that happened, and it happened late last week.
Ooh.
I tell you what, we'll go to break. I'll tell you the story when we come back.
Okay.
641, it's 1017 FM, 710 Keel traffic update. Now, here's Ruben on Keel.
Starting your day off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Duettig at the Weather Channel.
What you working on? Oh, John Fleming for later.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I'm working on a gun sale thing, too.
Yeah, I think that's just AP leftist BS.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
No, I'm being serious. I'm
talking to Tom Gresham. He's at the SHOT Show. Can't talk because he's in a room with other folks.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. Yeah, I think that's just.
I'm looking at the numbers, and I think it's BS, too.
Yeah. Imagine that. The AP, that leftist organization, that Trump-hating cadre. I'm not surprised at all.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the story.
Who'd you kill this time?
I didn't kill anybody. Stop it. The way it worked was, going back a couple of years, a kid named Mike Melville that I went to 7th and half of 8th grade with in Charlotte, North Carolina, popped into my head. Now, we weren't friends. We got along, but we weren't like hangout buddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
And his name popped into my head, and I had not thought about Mike Melville in nigh on 5 decades. I mean, we're talking 1965, 66 when I was in like 7th and 8th grade. And I hadn't thought about him forever. I mean, it's just, I mean, imagine somebody in a middle school class with whom you were barely acquainted popping into your head. Something about that says, why don't you Google them and see how they're doing? So I just put in Mike Melville, Charlotte, North Carolina. And he had died like the day before. I'm like, holy crap, wow. How did I do that?
You keep doing this.
Yeah, well, over the next year and a half or so, it probably happened a minimum of 10 times. where it would be people, either grade school kids or high school, nobody from high school. People that I worked with earlier on in the radio industry in the 70s and 80s, they'd pop into my head, and it got to where I knew the feeling. That if somebody popped into my head, I knew if I Googled their name and their city or their occupation, like Matt Parker Radio, that there would be, and it was, the most recent was the very first time, the Mike Melville, one day, like the day before.
Right.
Then there were others that were like 4 to 6 months, a couple of weeks, maybe 8 or 10 months. They were deceased, sometimes as much as a year. And I talked to a number of clergy people about this. I talked to Dr. Pat at First United, Father Paul at St. Paul's. I mean, I talked to a lot of people. And Father Paul at St. Paul's came up with an interesting idea, an interesting thing. He said, maybe they just want you to pray for them.
Wow. That is interesting. That really is.
Or something. In other words, I was
or maybe they're praying for you.
He brought that up also.
Maybe they're watching over you.
I don't know.
Wow. That really is interesting.
So the point I was going to make was, to wrap up the story, sort of, is I assumed, since it hadn't happened in about a year or so, maybe longer, that I was done. And interestingly enough, because a lot of people have said to me, well, didn't that freak you out? And I said, interestingly enough, no, because if you told me the story, if you said that were happening to you, I'd go, damn, that'd creep me out. That'd be freaky. If that happened to me, I'd be going, like, what?
Right.
And yet, since it's happening to me, or has happened to me nigh on nearly...
over and over.
But it's not at all. It doesn't, for whatever reason, it doesn't concern or stun or I'm just not going, what's happening here?
To think of it like they're watching over you is kind of calming. I mean, it's like, wow, think of all the angels you have.
I think I owe a couple of them money.
Oh, that could be it too.
But all jokes aside, it hadn't happened in more than a year. And then, was it last Wednesday or Thursday? There was a guy that I worked with. His name was Bill Needle, Needle.
Okay.
And he was a Cleveland sports reporter, and I had worked with him at a radio station in Cleveland. He had earlier been a press guy for, like a media guy for the Atlanta Hawks in the NBA and the Cavaliers in Cleveland, the NBA team.
Okay.
And I had not thought of him in probably, we worked together in the early 90s, and I probably had not thought of him in 15 years.
Right.
And he popped into my head.
Oh, no.
And he died about 90 days ago.
Golly.
Isn't that nuts?
That really is nuts.
Oh.
Really, man. Bizarre. But I think it's an angel. I think he's thinking of you.
I don't think you die, you become angels. I just don't think that.
I think you do.
No, I don't think so.
I think I have a lot of guardian
there's angels. There's you. Don't get,
I'm going to be an angel.
Don't get me wrong. I don't think you're out of. I don't think, not to wax overly theological, I don't think it's not a bad idea for you to ask your mother to pray for you.
Sure.
But I don't think your mother's an angel, with all due respect.
Of course my mother's an angel.
Yeah, you got me there.
Of course
don't want to
she's an
start
angel.
a fight. I apologize.
By the way, I sent you an email that I sent to some city leaders yesterday. We need to visit this because right now I'm getting, the responses I'm getting to it.
Is this your...
No, it's crickets.
Is this...
And I don't like crickets.
Okay, I have two questions because there's two topics we're going to cover in the 7 o'clock hour.
You've got to go look at this email.
Is this A...
Because this is for you.
Is this A? Is the mayor's security question?
We've got that coming up.
Okay.
That's not it.
Is this B about subsidizing city services?
This is your question, and I'm getting crickets. And you know how much I like crickets.
So which we'll do that.
Only if they're chocolate covered.
We'll do that one at 7:10. And we'll later in the hour, bluntly speaking, there's a lot of information on social media. There's a lot of speculation on social media about Mayor Perkins and the specifics of his security details.
Boy, I do a lot of work on that one.
And everybody's guessing, and everybody's speculating, and everybody's passing stuff along that may not be true.
Well, I've talked to Hightower and Glover and Perkins and a little bit about Ollie. I know a little bit about Ollie's. I haven't talked to Ollie, but I know a little bit about
Erin's got the facts coming up just after 7. 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Here's Ruben.
Looks like I-49 South's got to clear all the way to Alexandria right now, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-220 westbound near the Cross Lake Bridge. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Weather channel forecast. Let's see. Kind of warm again today, low to middle 60s. Believe that when I see it. A chance of rain increasing as the day rolls on. High later today, about 65. Right now, 50 at Keel. .101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The NFL remains silent regarding the botched no call in the waning moments of Sunday's NFC Championship. Saints head coach Sean Payton told reporters after the game the league office acknowledged officials missed a pass interference call with 1:40 to play in the game against the Rams. Saints owner Gail Benson vowed Monday to pursue rule changes that would prevent the events that helped end her team's season from happening again. Drew Brees and wide receiver Michael Thomas backed out of this weekend's Pro Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Former Houghton Buccaneer and Cowboy starter Dak Prescott, along with his wide receiver Amari Cooper, were chosen as their replacements. The Mudbugs vaulted from fourth place in the NAHL South Division to a tie for second with Monday afternoon's 6-3 win over the Lone Star Brahmas on the road. Mason Balboa earned the win between the pipes. Last year's Robertson Cup champions open a 9-game homestand Friday against Topeka. With Anthony Davis on the shelf the next week or so, the Pelicans needed someone to step up. Last night in a 105-85 win over Memphis on the road, that person was Jahlil Okafor, who posted a season-high 20 points and matched his best effort of the year with 10 rebounds. The Beast of the East, Milwaukee, topped the Mavericks 116-106. Dallas rookie Luka Doncic had his first triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. In Golden State's Klay Thompson tied an NBA record by hitting his first 10 three-pointers en route to a 44-point effort. The Warriors easily dispatched the Lakers 130-111 for their 8th straight win. And in high school hoops, Bossier topped Woodlawn in front of a packed house 75-66. The top-ranked Bearcats moved to 21-3 overall, 7-0 in district play. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
6:55, Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. So the rumor is, or is it more than rumor, that former Congressman Dr. John Fleming is going to make a gubernatorial run. You can't say that slowly and not sound drunk.
Gubernatorial run.
See, it's exactly how I sound.
I need to call him and see if I can wake him up if he's not.
Damn. Why don't you wait till after 7 o'clock?
No.
You've already texted him twice.
No, and I don't know if I got the right number. So, it's an old number. I'm hoping it's the right number.
Now, he is currently in Washington, D.C.
I believe he is. He may be on,
or is he non-essential?
It might be non-essential. I don't know.
Has he been furloughed?
I don't know. I'll ask him. I'm gonna call him here.
So what do you know? How do you who has said this? What is the source of this Fleming for governor story?
I think the Louisiana Radio Network got a hold of Dr. Jeff Sato from LSUS, who says that he's hearing rumblings of Dr. John making a run.
Right now on the Republican side, you've got Ralph Abraham, congressman, and Eddie Risponi, who is a New Orleans guy.
Baton Rouge businessman.
Businessman.
Yep.
I said New Orleans businessman. 6:56. Here's Rush on KEEL.
Hi, I'm a guy in a golf shirt, Palm Beach, running a country with today's update. Here we go. Earlier this month, a Jane Doe filed suit against Texas Democrat Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee. The unidentified woman says she was raped by Sheila Jackson Lee's chief of staff in October 2015. She reported the incident to police and others. Jane Doe says that when the Congresswoman found out about the allegations, she was fired. She was fired in retaliation. These are serious charges. They're very serious. A woman victim is accusing Sheila Jackson Lee of siding with her rapist and re-victimizing her. Now, Sheila Jackson Lee happens to be leader of the Congressional Black Caucasians Foundation. After the lawsuit was made public, the CBC Foundation Board of Directors asked Congresswoman Jackson Lee to quit her leadership position. Her response? She told the Congressional Black Caucasians Board to get lost. She's not going anywhere. Screw them and anybody else who wants to hold her to account. And let that be a lesson to all of you. This is how elite Democrats respond to all this Me Too business. They couldn't care less. And if any of them did it, it may as well have not even ever happened. Did you know that there is a new victim of identity theft every 2 seconds? It means a criminal could be spending your money, applying for loans in your name, and even damaging your good credit, all without you even knowing. And it's a good thing there's LifeLock identity theft protection. LifeLock uses proprietary technology to detect and alert you to a wide range of identity threats, like your social security number for sale on the dark web. And if you do have an issue involving identity theft, one of LifeLock's identity restoration specialists is going to work with you to fix it. Now, no one can prevent all identity theft or monitor all transactions at all businesses, but with LifeLock, you get identity theft protection and additional features to help protect your devices against cyber threats for as low as $9.99 a month. Go to lifelock.com or call 800-440-4833. Use the promo code RUSH for 10% off your first year. It's lifelock.com. And don't forget the name RUSH as the promo code for 10% off your first year.
101.7 FM, 710 KEEL at 6:59. Fox News is on the way. Traffic update now. Here's Mr. Rubin.
Starting your day off looking nice and clear for your early morning drive to work or school, but look out later on this morning for some traffic delays on I-20 westbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. KEEL, Shreveport.
Just after 7 o'clock, Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel, down yonder. Miss Erin, local news in just a moment or so.
Boosting teacher pay in Bossier. We'll have an update on that. Also, a former congressman from our area might be running for governor. And the Clean City fee, it gets a full hashing out today.
So you had interesting conversations with any number of city politicos present and past yesterday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of rumors about Mayor Perkins and his security detail. Erin dug into that and got the truth from City Hall.
And I asked questions about this sanitation fee and water service.
And who pays and who's not.
Right, and I'm not getting much response.
Fletcher in sports, traffic, and weather. It's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on Keel.
KEEL Morning Report, now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Former Congressman John Fleming considering a run for governor. LSU political science professor Jeffrey Sato says Fleming's been out of Congress for 4 years and is currently deputy secretary in the Department of Health. While his current position is viewed as a big deal in D.C., Sato doesn't foresee the position as being viewed in the same light in Louisiana.
I think in terms of legwork and the like to run, he'd be further behind than he would really need to be at this point to be competitive. So really in terms of the field, I think it'd be more of a dilutive effect for the Republicans.
Baton Rouge businessman Eddie Risponi and Congressman Ralph Abraham are still the only two Republican candidates, to have officially entered the race. Today's the day Johnny's Pizza is helping out the family of fallen police officer Shateri Payne. The restaurant donating 20% of all sales today to the family. The pizza joint expected to be packed all across the region. Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards convicted of murder last week in the stabbing death of Airman First Class Bradley Hale. Today, the 7-member jury will resume deliberations to decide Edwards' fate. The prosecution asking the panel for the maximum sentence of life in prison. The defense has asked that Edwards receive no more than 10 years. A Bossier Parish judge refuses a motion to reduce bail for a Bossier police officer accused of sexual abuse of animals. Terry Yetman accused of possessing and participating in pornography involving animals. The judge also ruled that state police had sufficient evidence to arrest Yetman. He remains locked up. It's being held on a $350,000 bond. The city council to take the first official look at proposed garbage fees. Matt Parker with that.
The Shreveport City Council is expected to discuss Mayor Adrian Perkins' $18 a month clean city fee at today's council meeting. The fee would be used to pay for trash service in the city and to give sanitation workers a raise. Perkins also says that without having to pay for trash services, the city could start building back up the city's reserve fund. Several council members told KEEL News that while they agree the sanitation department needs more money, they aren't sure a monthly fee is the answer. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The Bossier School Board wants voters to approve a property tax millage to boost pay for teachers and all school system employees. Superintendent Scott Smith tells us why this is needed.
Our object is to retain and recruit the very best teachers we can for our classroom. And it's very disheartening when we're at a recruiting event, whether it's East Texas, Arkansas, Northwest Louisiana, and they just walk by your table and these teachers are looking at the pay.
Now it would boost teacher pay by $7,200 a year, and support personnel would get $3,000. When the gun industry gathers for its annual show, it will be facing a changing political landscape. The Associated Press reports steady drops in gun sales, coupled with no chance of easing restrictions on firearms, could spell trouble for gun makers and dealers. But industry insiders say they're used to the ebb and flow and are prepared for what comes next. More than 400,000 Saints fans are demanding a rematch of the NFC Championship game. An online petition demanding that the NFL order a rematch between the Saints and the Rams is gaining traction online and has been signed so far by more than 400,000 fans. The odds of getting a rematch, not likely. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
With the people.
Nine past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Reuben time.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Linwood Avenue, and we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon. Mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast. Mid-50s. Dry Friday. High 51. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel. .101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app is always a free download from Office Furniture Source. Trying to get former Congressman John Fleming, Dr. John, for a little bit later this morning. He thinking about a governor's run.
Yeah, he just texted me, so we're in negotiations right now.
Yeah.
So he's up.
Hardcore. Hardcore negotiations. So which of these two you want to cover first?
Well, I'm a little bummed by the crickets, so I'm gonna read you the email I sent.
So we're gonna start with let's a little background. Mayor Perkins has proposed an $18 a month clean city fee, which would basically $18. The way they broke it down was, correct me if I'm wrong, it would go to give sanitation workers in the city a raise, maintenance and just whatever equipment upgrades they need to keep the trucks running, and a portion of that would go to shore up the rainy day fund, the reserve fund. Explain to everybody what that is if they don't know, by the way, and how it got to the point where in the minds of many people it should be at amount X, and ours is at amount like close to zero.
Yeah, I think we have $3 million in the reserve fund now. We should have way more than that. We're close to about 1 or 2%.
So it has been shrinking through the years. This is a fault.
It should be. It should be 7%.
Did it decrease? Did it shrink during the Tyler years or during the Glover and Tyler years? Or
that's a good question. I'll have to do some research on that. I know over the past 4 years it's gone down each year.
Okay.
And and the former mayor Tyler would tell you it's a result of healthcare costs, the pension liability funds. They've had to put more money into those. So it's one of those things that when you have to fund those and you don't have anything else.
One of the areas, the rainy day fund, reserve fund, one of the areas that Mayor Perkins wants the $18 a month garbage fee, sanitation fee, clean city fee to cover.
And you got an interesting text the other day about how many households are in our community that would pay
88,600 or something.
88,600.
Well, here was the point. When we were talking with Ben Riggs, the mayor's communications manager, and you had brought up the point before that, and then again with Ben, you said, there's a lot of people, if this fee is imposed on everybody who gets a water bill, if everybody who gets a water bill from the city of Shreveport's going to get hit for $18 a month if it passes. You said that's $216 a month. You said there's a lot of people who can't afford, especially
$216 a year.
Yeah. In $216 a year in a city like Shreveport, who can't afford $216 a year.
Mm-hmm.
And you said, are some sort of, what are you going to do? You're going to shut their water off? You're going to give them a price break? Exactly.
Right.
And then you kind of talked about how the city currently with water bills. And I guess Mr. Ben said, "Yeah, this is kind of what we do. That there is sort of
there are hardship cases, and they bring in their paperwork showing they're struggling."
Department of Water and Sewer, City of Shreveport, and it's means tested. I would assume.
I would assume you bring in the documentation that you're required to bring in,
right,
showing your income levels, and then they waive the water bill or they waive a part of it. I don't know.
So what I said was yesterday, if that's the case, just like, look. And I mentioned this yesterday, and I'm glad we brought it up again. I said the reason healthcare costs in America, one of the biggest reasons, if not the major factor, that medical care is so high, healthcare is so high, is because people who pay have to pay for people who don't.
Mm-hmm.
That sort of economic rule applies to just about everything. So if there's a number of people who are getting water from the city of Shreveport who are getting a price break because of their economic circumstance, then part of your fee, the fee you pay, is a subsidy for those who don't.
Yes.
Because water ain't free. The cost is what the cost is.
And you could jump to the conclusion that if they're getting water subsidies or free water, that they would then also ask for free garbage pickup.
Well, or at least get a price break on it.
Yes.
So what we were wondering was, Erin sent out this email.
I'll read it to you. You
okay,
ready?
Go ahead. Yeah, because we were talking. Pardon me. Let me just wrap up.
Okay.
That we were talking about. So what kind? Who gets, if any, the price break, and if so, how much on their water bills?
Yep.
And is that built into the current water billing system?
Right.
I.e., where you pay a little more because somebody else doesn't pay. And if that's the case, is part of the $18 a month fee built in to subsidize the increased garbage costs for the people who already are getting the price break on their water bills.
So I sent this to Barbara Featherston, who is the director of the Water and Sewer Department.
Now, that's not all. Keep going.
I said I also sent it to all the city council members and to the mayor, and I believe I copied Ben Riggs. I'm not sure.
Adrian Perkins, Ben Riggs, Willie Bradford, John Nicholson, James Fleury, Lavette Fuller, Grayson Butcher, James Green.
Need to know this number. I would like to know how many local residents get hardship help with water bills each month and year. I know this number changes, but I'd like to get an average on how many people get help. Do they get the full bill waived or just a part of the bill waived? And the responses I've gotten so far, crickets.
Wait. What time did you send this?
Crickets.
When did you send this? Yesterday?
Oh, yesterday morning sometime.
Yeah.
I mean, it may take a day or two. I get that.
Yeah.
But I know today's council meeting, 3 o'clock this afternoon, Government Plaza, it's going to be packed with people against this water bill.
Pardon me. Do you think so?
Garbage fee. You should have seen Friday.
Was it busy?
Oh, my gosh.
Because I told you, I went to those, I said Super Bowl parties. I went to those 2 football parties on Sunday. And at neither of them was anyone aware that the mayor had proposed an $18 monthly trash fee.
Oh, I'm telling you, today's meeting, and if you're against this sanitation fee and you want to address the council, today is the day. The meeting is 3 o'clock, Government Plaza, and you have to sign in saying you want to address the council.
What is the time frame on this as far as the introduction of the bill until they might vote? I know there's a 2-week.
Yeah, it has to lay over for 2 weeks. It's on first reading today, and they have a rule where you.
What does that mean, first reading? In other words,
an ordinance has to lay over for 2 weeks, and then it goes from first reading to second reading.
In other words, the exact legislation as proposed by the Perkins administration would be introduced today.
Yes,
there would be discussion. They wouldn't vote today. They would argue with each other. They would listen to people in the crowd. Then it would sit for 2 weeks.
Then they could come back and take a final vote. They could postpone it. I mean, there would be a lot of amendments, I would imagine. But I think this topic will come up today. Of the 88,000 homes in Shreveport, how many of them get water help? You know, and if it's 20,000, that's a fourth. That means a fourth of the homes are going to get garbage help.
And question one, unrelated to your email, is how does that affect your bill? What percentage of your bill or my bill is literally water subsidy?
Right. And don't get me wrong. I'm not in favor of turning people's water off. I'm in favor of helping those people who are less fortunate and who need help. And I'm more than willing to pay a little extra.
If that's the case, you're getting ready to help them some more. Because there's a lot of people, if they can't pay the water bills now, they're looking at a $216 a year bump.
And for some of those people, a lot of them don't even make $20,000 a year. So this is 1% of their budget. I got a text from former Mayor Glover regarding this, and let me see if I can pull it up real quickly because it was pretty scathing regarding this increase. And
go ahead.
Let's see. Let me because it's pretty rough. Let's see. Hang on.
Well, let's point out, I think it would be fair to say, and I want you to correct me if I am incorrect, that all through the election through the election season, would it be fair to say that the former mayor was not a big fan of Adrian?
No, he was not.
Okay.
He texts me this. This is a pretty interesting start to an administration. Biggest ever single tax increase in the city's history. Singularly supported at this point, the council's most conservative member, combined with a post-certified chauffeur wearing a $1,000 suit.
Now we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
All the rumors of security and cost overruns or just whatever is costing the city or not costing the city.
I have a solution to this garbage problem.
Hang on a second.
If I were mayor.
Let's do it when we get back.
Okay.
Because we need to canvass the city council members again this morning, too, and see how they're thinking. 19 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. Ruben's here.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Kings Highway near Linwood Avenue. And we have some traffic delays on Airline Drive near Old Minden Road in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Duettig at the Weather Channel.
$7:22 Keel Sports Update time. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The NFL remains silent regarding the botched no call in the waning moments of Sunday's NFC Championship. Saints head coach Sean Payton told reporters after the game the league office acknowledged officials missed a pass interference call with 1:40 to play in the game against the Rams. Saints owner Gail Benson vowed Monday to pursue rule changes that would prevent the events that helped end her team's season from happening again. Drew Brees and wide receiver Michael Thomas backed out of this weekend's Pro Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Former Houghton Buccaneer and Cowboy starter Dak Prescott, along with his wide receiver Amari Cooper, were chosen as their replacements. The Mudbugs vaulted from fourth place in the NAHL South Division to a tie for second with Monday afternoon's 6-3 win over the Lone Star Brahmas on the road. Mason Balboa earned the win between the pipes. Last year's Robertson Cup champions open a 9-game homestand Friday against Topeka. With Anthony Davis on the shelf the next week or so, the Pelicans needed someone to step up. Last night in a 105-85 win over Memphis on the road, that person was Jahlil Okafor, who posted a season-high 20 points and matched his best effort of the year with 10 rebounds. The Beast of the East, Milwaukee, topped the Mavericks 116-106. Dallas rookie Luka Doncic had his first triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. In Golden State's Klay Thompson tied an NBA record by hitting his first 10 three-pointers en route to a 44-point effort. The Warriors easily dispatched the Lakers 130-111 for their 8th straight win. And in high school hoops, Bossier topped Woodlawn in front of a packed house 75-66. The top-ranked Bearcats moved to 21-3 overall, 7-0 in district play. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
Attention to this.
.101.7 FM, 710 Keel, Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Shreveport Security Systems text line 318-392-1884. Before we get back to the mayor stuff and the $18 a month fee, there are things about this industry, about broadcasting, that you and I take for granted that a lot of people don't know. And so they ask questions, and I go, I never thought of it from a layperson's, if you will, point of view. Shreveport Security Systems text line. So, at about 7:10 every morning, your signal pops off for just a few seconds. Is it you or is it my radio? Now, see, you and I immediately know what that is.
Right.
And I just texted back. If you're listening to 7:10 a.m., which I assume, the audio drop is transmitter power change from 5,000-watt night pattern to 50,000-watt non-directional daytime pattern. Robert and Erin Keel. So if you're just wondering, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mayor Perkins wants $18 a month from everybody in the city who gets a water bill.
Right.
And the city council will begin discussing this today. Now, they could vote it out today.
They could vote to remove it from the agenda, and, you know.
But they can't kill it today. I mean, I'm sorry, they can't pass it today.
Right. To pass it, it's got to lay over for 2 weeks. They could vote to kill it. They could vote to send it to a committee. They could table it. There are a lot of things they could do. They could alter. I mean, they could offer amendments to it today, which they may do.
You think it's worth our while to re-canvass the city council people? Or do you think we just should wait till tomorrow?
They're not going to tell us today.
John Nicholson's coming in tomorrow morning?
Yeah, he'll be here tomorrow morning. I think we're doing it over the phone.
Oh, Mr. John, come on in. We got a chair for you.
Well, he's a busy man. So, you know, if he can come, Jerry Bowman will join us this morning at 8:10. He's going to chat with us, the council chairman.
Is he coming in? Is he going to call?
I think he's on the phone as well. They know they're welcome to come in, obviously.
You're slipping.
But I have a solution
for
the problem.
For the water, for the cost?
For the garbage fee.
Yeah.
$18 is a lot to swallow. That is a lot to swallow. If you make $20,000 a year, that's more than 1% of your budget just for putting your garbage out by the curb. That's a lot to swallow.
But bluntly speaking, is probably, well, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
Let's say we implement it in stages. in phases. Maybe start at $5 for the first year and go up, 5 or 10%. Maybe start at $10. I'd even be in favor of that and would support you on that. But let's not go one lump sum, boom, punch everybody in the gut with $18 that we haven't been paying. We've been getting garbage service as part of our city services, and we're all used to that. We used to have them come to our backyard and pick it up.
But
they cut that out, 10, 15 years ago.
What if the mayor is looking at the budget? What if he's looking at the garbage sanitation and going, we can't wait?
That's what he's saying.
$5.
That's absolutely what he's saying.
$5 don't help.
Well,
$10 doesn't fix it.
Let's right now do something to partially fix that, and also partially fix the reserve. Because I know the credit agencies are going to downgrade us if we don't.
Which do you think is more important, giving them a raise or fixing the trucks? Keeping the trucks maintained and on the streets. Look,
you have to give them a raise, or you don't have people to drive the trucks.
If this city has one problem, it's not only police vehicles, it's not only garbage trucks. It's we have a problem with cities, with the city's vehicles.
And let's make this real clear: the mayor's proposal calls for a pay increase for drivers. The CDL drivers would go to $15. We haven't talked about the other workers. And we're losing some of them, too.
Now.
But we're losing the drivers faster than any.
You're sitting down there thinking, we need to phase in this.
Why not at least think of that?
Stop a second. I want you to ponder something. We'll go to break.
Okay.
What if $18 is Adrian's first phase in?
Man.
What if you're saying, we ought to start at 5 and get to 18? What if Adrian's thinking we ought to start to 18 and get to 30?
Oh, boy.
You just said yourself, it only pays for the driver's raises. You've got a lot of other people, and
yes.
It is believe it or not, it is workers-wise a very competitive industry. 29 past 7 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. Ruben's here.
The intersection at North Market and North Hearn Avenue is dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some traffic delays on Shed Road near Airline Drive in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon. Mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast. Mid-50s. Dry Friday. High 51. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
Information. KEEL News now.
The Bossier School Board wants voters to fund a teacher pay increase. Superintendent Scott Smith says with the state proposal pending, it's just not enough.
We can't wait for the state. I don't know what the reason or the purpose. I know that there's been talk about asking for $1,000 for teacher pay, and I think $500 maybe for support employee pay. But there's nothing for sure on that. We can't wait on the state. We have an issue now that we have to deal with.
Smith says if approved, this property tax increase would boost pay by $7,200 for professional employees and $3,000 for support workers. Now, this would be a property tax millage increase, costing the owner of a $250,000 home about $33 more a month. A Bossier Parish judge refuses a motion to reduce bail for a Bossier police officer accused of sexual abuse of animals. Terry Yetman accused of possessing and participating in pornography involving animals. The judge also ruled that state police had sufficient evidence to arrest Yetman. He remains locked up. It's being held on a $350,000 bond. Deliberations continue in a Barksdale Airman's murder trial. Matt Parker with the latest.
Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards was convicted of murder last week in the stabbing death of Airman First Class Bradley Hale. Today, the 7-member jury will resume deliberations to decide Edwards' fate. The prosecution is asking the panel for the maximum sentence of life in prison without parole. The defense has asked that Edwards receive no more than 10 years. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport Council expected to talk about Mayor Perkins' $18 a month Clean City fee at today's meeting. The fee would be used to pay for trash service in the city and give sanitation workers a raise. The mayor also says without having to pay for trash services, the city could start building back up the reserve fund. Several council members telling KEEL News that while they agree the sanitation department needs more money, they're not sure if a monthly fee is the answer. More than 400,000 Saints fans demanding a rematch of the NFC Championship game. An online petition demanding that the NFL order a rematch between the Saints and the Rams is gaining traction and has been signed by more than 400,000 folks. Former Congressman John Fleming considering a run at the governor's mansion. According to several sources, Fleming strongly considering running for governor this year. If he does decide to jump in, he would be joining fellow Republicans Ralph Abraham and Eddie Risponi in the race. Now, as the 2020 presidential primary takes shape, almost no policy is too liberal for Democrats fighting to win over their base, that base demanding a nominee dedicated to pursuing bold action. So far, virtually all the likely candidates have embraced universal health care in one form or another. Local officials in Texas calling for an end to the partial government shutdown as it continues into its 5th week. Attorney Thelma Clardy gathered with a group outside the federal building in Dallas to raise concerns. The acting chair of the Southwest Dallas County Democrats spoke on the Fox TV affiliate about the lack of progress being made.
I don't blame anybody. What I do regret is that our congressional leaders and the president can't come together to the table to work out a compromise. So they need to do the job that we pay them to do.
800,000 federal employees are being affected. Big oops for Fox and Friends. They showed a graphic saying Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg had died. They've apologized, blaming a control room error. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. So You got some more DavTech stuff coming up? Tell me.
Absolutely. Going to be doing a women's gun safety course February 12th.
Okay, so let's run down your DavTech resume. Because you said, I think I want to get a gun, but I want to be trained. I want to understand the workings. I want to be able to clean it, take it apart, put it back together. I want to be well-versed in all aspects of this specific firearm.
Yes.
So you did the 2 women's introduction to firearms classes.
And our listeners joined us, and you're going to have another opportunity to do the same. Going to do another class on February 12th. It's going to be, just learning how to handle a gun and handle a firearm.
So this is basically the
and we're going to shoot them.
It's the same one, it's the same one just again because it was so successful.
Yes, it absolutely was. And there were so many people who couldn't do it on those dates we had. So we're doing it again, February 12th, Introduction to Gun Safety for Women.
What's the cost on that?
I think it's $100.
Okay.
And you're going to be joining me. I'm going to be there. It's going to be from beginning around 6 o'clock. And it takes a couple of hours, but you're going to get to shoot your gun. You want to bring your own gun.
I would imagine the time flies.
Oh, it does. It is so much fun.
What's the date on it again?
It is February 12th at DavTech in Bossier City.
What's the website there?
The website is davtac.com, DAVTAC.com.
839, sorry. 739, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. A lot of rumors about the mayor and his security detail. Erin did a little homework yesterday.
Did I.
That is next. Here's Ruben.
The intersection at Uri Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some heavy backed-up traffic on Benton Road southbound just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline at 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Oetting at the Weather Channel.
Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. The Keel app is a free download from Office Furniture Source. Okay, so like if you believe everything you read on the internet, and who doesn't, Adrian Perkins is spending $1 billion a month on security. He's got like former Mossad agents guarding him from
got a bulletproof box around him.
It's freaking incredible. Boy in the bubble.
Yeah.
So explain to me. I mean, it's literally getting shared on Facebook, and every time it gets shared, there's something that gets changed.
Right. It's taken a life of its own. It really has.
And it becomes, bluntly speaking, well, I mean, there's a lot of it that is like preposterous.
Yeah.
But we have also heard from people inside the city government that there are a few things the mayor is doing that are out of the ordinary compared to previous city chief executives.
Well, I've been around for years.
How many? That's a lot.
And I'm familiar with how this has been handled in a lot of cases. And I know from personal experience that the first time security was used in my years here, of a Shreveport police officer going out was when Hazel Beard was elected. And she was a woman, and she would call, and an officer would go to certain events with her or for her and be around with her.
You started yesterday.
I started canvassing the former mayors.
Well, let's start first of all.
I started with the current mayor.
Let's start first of all. I think you emailed Ben Riggs, his communications guy. Mm-hmm. And do you have that email, or do you have that in front of you?
No, I don't. I have it in my brain, though.
Okay, go ahead.
I asked about the security, and do you have a bulletproof vehicle? Did you take officers?
Pardon me. You addressed every single rumor that you had seen. Social media.
Yeah, you took people to the New Orleans Saints game with you. You know, you get them a wardrobe allowance and all that stuff.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Ben called me back and he said, "Here's the difference between how we handle it and Mayor Tyler handled it."
So, pardon me, this was a phone call.
Yes.
From Mr. Riggs, not an email or a text.
Right. It was a phone call. He said Mayor Tyler had one person assigned to her from SPD, and that person went with her everywhere she went. We, instead of doing it that way, where somebody might be sitting waiting, when we're in the office, we have asked for 4 people to be put on a rotation. And as we need them, we'll call and say, whoever's on the rotation right now, we're going to the CenturyLink Center. We need them to go with the mayor. And that's the one difference. He said the other difference is that we have them in plain clothes. He said Ben told me because the mayor wants to be more approachable. And if you have a uniformed police officer standing there are some people that are not going to come up. They're be too, they're not going to come around a police officer.
So there's not this 4-man.
He didn't take any.
Tom Cruise and Mission Impossible kind of guys.
The interesting thing was, I asked about the clothing allowance. I said, "Are you buying them clothing?" And he said, "Well, if these guys need it, we are giving them a clothing allowance." And I said, "Well, how much?" And he goes, "Well, that's something you'll have to talk to the chief about." So, to me, you need to know that. If you're the mayor, you need to know how much you're spending on your clothing allowance for your security.
What's the story on the vehicle? Is that just all rumor? Is that all myth?
It's his vehicle.
Trip to New Orleans.
The trip to New Orleans, he did not take any security guys with him. That's what I was told. None of them went with him. He has his own vehicle. Didn't answer the armored part. If Adrian got it armored glass, bulletproof glass. They didn't answer that one, so I'm still waiting. We'll ask that again.
I doubt it.
But my history of this is that occasionally a mayor would use a driver if they were going to do some work. On the phone while they were driving.
Pardon me. What was the point you made with Miss Ollie, where she would have occasionally a guy would run a little, one of the SPD guys
would come ahead to check out whatever location he was going to, and then when Miss Ollie and the officer that was assigned to her showed up, the other guy would take off.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
And that happened a couple of times. For the most part, she just, and I've texted her. I haven't heard back yet, but I didn't text her yesterday.
So who did you talk to yesterday?
Well, I sent this to Keith Hightower. Did you ever use personal security from SPD or anyone else? He quickly responded, "No, wasn't necessary. I wanted to be accessible to everyone." I asked him about a driver. No, he drove himself. He said Bo Williams even drove himself, and he was in a wheelchair. Then I had a long conversation with Cedric Glover about this. Let me scroll up because we talked about several things. This is an interesting one. Because it talks about, I said, when you went out, because they're claiming Perkins wants to be approachable, and so many people are coming up to him, they need people to be with them to kind of manage the crowds. So I texted Mr. Glover, when you went out to public functions, can I assume you usually had a crowd of people who wanted to meet you, and because of that, you might have needed security. With that being said, how often did you bring security? And Mr. Glover responded, I am hard to miss when out in public. So the answer is yes. The only times I had any form of security was after a death threat. Even then, I had no one directly assigned to me. In those instances, my concern was about my mother, Veronica, his wife, and staff. As soon as those threats were investigated and resolved, any law enforcement assets assigned to them were returned to regular duty. I knew that at functions like the Revel, State Fair, etc., SPD personnel kept an eye on me as I moved about, but no one was specifically assigned to guard, protect, or escort me. And then he added, except for maybe around the time Obama got elected, when threats ticked up a bit for a while and the Secret Service showed up a time or two, I was probably in more danger when I would call out the addresses of crack or gang houses during meetings while I was serving on the city council.
Okay, so we've got just about a minute or so. Let us review things that have been said about the mayor and his detail and what we actually heard yesterday. So is there this 8-ton Humvee bulletproof armor-plated vehicle that looks like the Batmobile?
That question's not fully answered for me. I need to ask if it is bulletproof glass, who paid for it, how much. I'll follow up.
Four armed guards surrounding the mayor at all time, cutting a swath of
plain clothes.
Yeah.
In $1,000 suits.
Yeah.
They're plain clothes. They're 4 on a rotation.
So
that are assigned one at a time, and they don't go unless he's needed, unless he's going out to an event.
How's about this trip to New Orleans? The mayor took a cadre of security team.
They say that is not true, that none of the security people went with him to New Orleans. And the reason he needs security is because he's approached by so many people at events. He wants to be out there and approached, and he needs security people with him.
I would reckon that the questions to which you have not received answers will be forthcoming. Coming your way before noon. 7:49.
In 2021.
7:49, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Traffic update.
The intersection at Erie Drive and Southfield Road's dealing with some slow-moving traffic right now. And we have some heavy backed-up traffic on Benton Road southbound just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687 Road.
Right now, 51 degrees, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Your Money Now, presented by Barksdale Federal Credit Union. Before 8 o'clock. Comes after 7 in most cases. 7:52 Sports Update. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The NFL remains silent regarding the botched no call in the waning moments of Sunday's NFC Championship. Saints head coach Sean Payton told reporters after the game the league office acknowledged officials missed a pass interference call with 1:40 to play in the game against the Rams. Saints owner Gail Benson vowed Monday to pursue rule changes that would prevent the events that helped end her team's season from happening again. Drew Brees and wide receiver Michael Thomas backed out of this weekend's Pro Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Former Houghton Buccaneer and Cowboys starter Dak Prescott, along with his wide receiver Amari Cooper, were chosen as their replacements. The Mudbugs vaulted from 4th place in the NAHL South Division to a tie for 2nd with Monday afternoon's 6-3 win over the Lone Star Brahmas on the road. Mason Balboa earned the win between the pipes. Last year's Robertson Cup champions open a 9-game homestand Friday against Topeka. With Anthony Davis on the shelf the next week or so, the Pelicans needed someone to step up. Last night in a 105-85 win over Memphis on the road, that person was Jahlil Okafor, who posted a season-high 20 points and matched his best effort of the year with 10 rebounds. The Beast of the East, Milwaukee, topped the Mavericks 116-106. Dallas rookie Luka Doncic had his first triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. In Golden State's Klay Thompson tied an NBA record by hitting his first 10 three-pointers en route to a 44-point effort. The Warriors easily dispatched the Lakers 130-111 for their 8th straight win. And in high school hoops, Bossier topped Woodlawn in front of a packed house 75-66. The top-ranked Bearcats moved to 21-3 overall, 7-0 in district play. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
.107 FM, 710 Keel, Robert and Erin, 755, Shreveport City Councilman Jerry Bowman just after 8.
Mm-hmm.
I have all the info, and I just haven't sort of put it together in something that is, at least for me, relatively cogent.
Well, Humpty Dumpty it.
I have been, well, I'll just give you sort of a little tease here.
Okay.
You know, you and I talk about all the time. It started when you had mentioned that a couple of days ago was anniversary is such a poorly chosen word of your father's death.
Yeah, yesterday.
And I was thinking, because he was a hero, he got the Bronze Star at Okinawa World War II. And you and I have talked about, and a lot of stories about how rapidly World War II veterans are dying, how there are fewer and fewer. So I started wondering, I started looking to see, I said, well, what was the last World War I guy? What was the last Civil War guy? What was the last Spanish-American War guy?
Oh, my.
And I've got all of those, but what year do you think the final Civil War veteran died?
Let's see.
1861 to 65.
Okay, 65.
Or if you go to Louisiana Tech, that's the first time you've ever heard of it.
1920?
Albert Henry Wolson, the last known surviving member of the Union Army, blah, 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 died August 2nd, 1956.
Wow.
857, 1017 FM. Me and a Civil War vet were on the earth.
At the same time.
At the same time.
Man, you're old.
757, here's Hannity.
Waking up on the right side. This is the Sean Hannity Morning Minute.
Why would Trump ask Cohn to lie when Don Jr. told the truth? Think. They got to think before they rush to judgment. But they're so giddy with excitement and anticipation because their narrative to take this man down continues every second, every minute, every hour of every day. And one reporter says no evidence at all to support our report. The other says Oh, no, I have seen it. Well, what is it? That was all there long before they started this impeachment, rush to judgment. Why would BuzzFeed sources not show the corroborating evidence?
From coast to coast, from sea to shining sea, it's the Sean Hannity Show.
Smoking is not about politics. It's about people. There are 34 million Americans that smoke. But for me, Juul was a game changer because you switch to Juul. It's simple, it's satisfying, and no more smell. I watch people all the time. They run outside in the freezing cold and can be grabbing their cigarette. Well, with Juul, you'll take a quick puff and you're good. That's it. Now, Juul is designed with smokers in mind. From its form to technology, it's easy to use, no buttons, no switches. And the goal of Juul is to impact the lives of adult smokers by providing a satisfying alternative. Switch to Juul. You'll wish you had done it a long time ago. To discover the smoking alternative that is nothing like any e-cig vape you have ever tried, go to this website, Juul.com/Switch America. That's Juul.com/Switch America. Warning, this product contains nicotine, and nicotine is an addictive chemical. Juul.com/Switch America.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident on Colquitt Road eastbound. It has traffic backed up from Dean Road to Smalley Road right now. And we're looking at some slow-moving traffic on I-20 eastbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
101.7 FM and 710 Keel Weather Channel forecast. A little warmer today, low 60s maybe, but increasing clouds and a chance of rain by late today and tonight. Right now, 51 at Keel. It's 8 o'clock. Here's Fox News, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel.
Breaking news and trending talk. This is 101.7 FM and 710 Keel. KEEL, Shreveport.
Good morning, just past 8 o'clock. Robert and Erin, 101.7 FM, 710 KEEL. Erin and local news in just a couple of seconds. Hang on.
Talking about teacher pay in Bossier Parish. Would you vote to okay it? We'll talk more about that. Reducing bail for a police officer accused of abusing animals. That's coming up, too. And Saints fans want a redo.
City Council meeting today. They will be discussing. It will be officially introduced. Mayor Perkins' $18 a month clean city fee. He'll be there. Councilman Jerry Bowman joins us to discuss that topic in just moments. Fletcher in sports and traffic and weather, and it's all coming up this hour, and it's right here on KEEL.
Report now on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
The Bossier School Board wants voters to approve a bond issue to boost pay for teachers and all school system workers. Superintendent Scott Smith tells me how much money we're talking about.
Just a straight $7,200, for all professional employees, and a straight $3,000. For instance, for bus drivers, it'd be around a 15% pay increase.
This would be a property tax millage increase. It would cost the owner of a $250,000 home about $33 more a month. Smith says the board has voted to put this on the ballot May 4th. Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards convicted of murder last week in the stabbing death of Airman First Class Bradley Hale. Today, the 7-member jury will resume deliberations to decide Edwards' fate. The prosecution asking the panel for the maximum sentence of life in prison. The defense has asked that Edwards receive no more than 10 years. A judge refuses to reduce bail for an accused animal abuser. Matt Parker with that.
A Bossier Parish judge has refused a motion to reduce bail for a Bossier City police officer accused of 40 counts of sexual abuse of animals. Terry Yetman is accused of possessing and participating in pornography involving animals. The judge also ruled that state police had sufficient evidence to arrest Yetman. Yetman remains locked up and is being held on a $350,000 bond. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
The Shreveport Council expected to discuss Mayor Adrian Perkins' $18 a month clean city fee at today's meeting. The fee would be used to pay for trash service in the city and give sanitation workers a raise. It would also shore up the city's reserve fund. Several council members telling KEEL News, while they agree the sanitation department needs more money, they're not sure a monthly fee is the answer. Former Congressman John Fleming is looking at the possibility of jumping into the governor's race. LSU's political science professor Jeff Sato says the news is surprising considering the timing.
If he had really been interested, you might have expected it to be shortly after Senator John Kennedy said he wasn't going to run.
Fleming currently serves as Deputy Assistant Secretary of Health Information Technology Reform. Louisiana's top higher education board found that college freshmen admitted without meeting its minimum standards had lower grades and were less likely to graduate. The Board of Regents survey tracked students admitted to public colleges over the last 2 years. The report says the GPA for those students averaged 2.0. The partial government shutdown stretches into its 32nd day, with another missed paycheck looming for hundreds of thousands of workers. The Saints beginning the process of trying to move on from a disappointing finish to the season. It seemed like New Orleans was destined to play in the franchise's second Super Bowl, only to see those dreams fall apart. Cornerback P.J. Williams says they have to look forward and not back.
You got to be able to move on from stuff like this, man. You got to have a short memory because you don't want it to affect your life or affect your career. So I feel like the main thing, you got to just really think about it and know that you got to move on from things like this because it's over.
More than 400,000 Saints fans are demanding a rematch of the NFC Championship game. They've all signed an online petition calling for just that. What movies make the list of the worst of the year? Well, the Razzies are out. A couple of the big ones on the list: John Travolta's Gotti, along with Will Ferrell's comedy Holmes and Watson. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL.
Past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Latest traffic from Ruben.
A major accident on Colquitt Road eastbound has traffic backed up from Dean Road to Smalley Road right now. And we're looking at some heavy backed up traffic on Benton Road just north of Green Acres Boulevard in Bossier City. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Wedding at the Weather Channel.
Recently, Shreveport
.101.7 FM and 710 KEEL. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. KEEL app free to download from Office Furniture Source. Shreveport City Councilman Jerry Bowman is here. Hasn't been here in a while. Hey, Mr. Jerry, how are you today? Welcome back to KEEL.
Good morning. How are you?
Council Chairman, you got a big decision today, whether to move forward that proposed Clean City fee, change it. I know it's got to hold over for 2 weeks, but right now, how are you feeling about it? What's your response been?
The same way I've been standing rather for since the last time it was introduced. I think it should be some kind of fee, but $18, like I told you at the gate, is a bit much for my citizens or the people in my district.
So you had the working session on Friday. Let's start there, bring everybody up to date. What did you guys talk about? Who was there representing the Perkins administration? You're the chairman of the council. Who was thumbs up? Who was thumbs down?
It's kind of difficult to say. I know that Councilman Fleury had some issues. Councilman Bradford seems to be very leery because because of his district, and which with good understanding. And I think everyone, if I go to Councilwoman Fuller, she states the same sentiments almost. So I think everyone is kind of up in the air, but open to something. I know Nicholson is open. I'm sure Butcher is open to something, but I think everyone is not quite open for $18 out the gate.
Jerry, let me ask you this. I mean, I understand a fee may be needed, but this mayor's not even there a month. Can we look at some ways to belt tighten first before we start getting into my purse?
Well, I believe that there are some things, maybe one or two things that can be looked at, but I know that Mayor Perkins is adamant about the reserve funds, and that's very understandable on my viewpoint anyway.
Oh, I agree. The reserve fund, and I told you this during the election season, that was scary low and frightening. Can we phase this in? Would y'all start at something like would you be, if I said, let's start at $5 a month and let's phase it in $1 a year?
I'm open. I'm open for that. I'm actually, maybe not 5. I'm open for at least 6 or 7 to start.
Okay.
7 maybe, and move up in maybe a $2 increment, not a $1. But I mean, we need to get there. We're behind other cities as is. And people say, well, you can't compare us to Dallas. No, but we always get compared to Bossier, which is very small in us, and they're progressive also. So I'm open to some kind of negotiations and some sort of a fee. I know it'll be a burden on some, but in order to move forward and move the city to where it should be, we got to start somewhere.
Mr. Jerry, one of the ideas that Mr. Fleury brought up with us early last week was, as far as a cost-cutting measure, which would certainly mitigate an increase if you needed one at all, was for the city to get out of the commercial sanitation, commercial trash business. Did that come up at all? And just do residential. Did that come up at all in Friday's meeting?
It did come up Friday, and it was, I think it came from Councilman Fleury, which at first he opted not to speak, and then he said he had to, and yeah, I think he was the one to bring that up.
Was that met with any? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I think that can be an option. It was some others nodded their head and kind of said, well, I can see looking into that.
Does anybody have any numbers on how much that would save?
No, but Ms. Jones, interim CAO, was supposed to have those numbers sometime today.
Gotcha.
Jerry, I was asking for some numbers too. I copied you on my email.
I didn't get the email. When I heard you say that earlier, I went to scrolling for it. I didn't get it.
Really? Well, I'll forward it to you. It went to your city address. So
Jerry doesn't have 3 R's. I think that's where she might have messed up.
That could be it too. It is. I want to know how many people get subsidized water bills, and that would let me know how many are going to ask for subsidized garbage pickup. That's pretty fair leap. Does somebody know that number? Because they haven't responded to me yet.
I'm sure Ms. Featherston has that number. She should get that to us today. I'm more than sure she has that number.
And on top of that, if I can assume, well, I mean, when Mr. Riggs was here, he talked about that there are X number of citizens in Shreveport who are having their water bills to some degree subsidized. Has that come up at the meeting? Do you expect it to be discussed? Because, like Erin said, if you're having your water bill subsidized by everybody else, then at some point part of this 18 or whatever amount monthly trash fee is imposed. That's got to be built into the fee too, right?
I would agree with that. I also agree that we do have we can't be blind to the fact that we still have people who have issues with their water bill. Not as it was, but we still get those phone calls. And some people are still leery because they phone, their bill is higher than what it's expected. So I tell people, when you get a new water meter, you can expect the bill may even go higher because now it's very accurate on your bill. So I just want to say that people are still concerned about their water bill.
As you guys are going into the meeting today, your city council meeting, open session, do you get the sense from talking to people in the Perkins administration about the thoughts, what the mayor's thinking, what his strategy is this $18, do you think it's a negotiating point, or do you think he's going to hold fast at that amount?
No, I think he's adamant about and with his number, but I do believe that he's open to negotiation. No, I know he's open to negotiations on that.
The meeting today, 3:00. If I'm for or against this, just regular citizens that are listening to you today, what do they need to do to address the council today? What's the procedure?
Well, come in. Hopefully they'll get there by 3. I normally start the meeting on purpose a few minutes late to try to give people a time who get off their work at 3 or 2:45 to get there in time to fill out a slip and bring it up to the clerk and go from there. They'll be called up in order as they will receive, because it's I think at 3:30, 3:45 they stop receiving those slips to speak.
Sort of tied, sort of related to that. What kind of public reaction did you get to Friday's work session? What kind of reaction have you gotten from your constituents?
From the work session, there were, I think several, maybe six people who had questions. 3 or 4 were very adamant about no fee at all. For me and my constituents, I received, my paper here, I received 9 phone calls total and two emails, and I got approached twice at church.
In the scheme, first of all, how are they thinking? What are they thinking? B, in the scheme of issues, is this a lot or is this just not many at all for your folks?
No, I think that, well, they feel like I hadn't get, like I said, maybe 14 people total have approached me, and most of them saying that 18 is a lot. They agree that something should, but not the $18. One told me on a email yesterday, 0. 2 phone calls told me that, they just couldn't afford $18, maybe 6 or 7, like that. So nobody, I mean, like I said, out of the phone calls I got, I had one person tell me completely no, nothing.
Do you vote to advance it today?
I do want to. I want to, but like I said, not $18. I would not go for $18 out the gate on nobody. My dollar bill is totally different than many other people's dollar bills. So, which meaning that, I believe a family could feed. Some families have fed a family of 4 or 5 off of $18 for a week. You have to stretch it, and so I couldn't do that to no one.
So you'll offer some amendments if others don't, right?
Most definitely.
Council Chairman Jerry Bowman, thanks for your time this morning.
Thank you.
19 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel traffic time. Ruben's here.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident on Colquitt Road eastbound. It has traffic backed up from Dean Road to Smalley Road right now. And we're looking at some slow-moving traffic on I-20 eastbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
.7 FM, 710 Keel. Sports time. Here's Fletch.
Good morning from the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger. This is Tim Fletcher. The NFL remains silent regarding the botched no call in the waning moments of Sunday's NFC Championship. Saints head coach Sean Payton told reporters after the game the league office acknowledged officials missed a pass interference call with 1:40 to play in the game against the Rams. Saints owner Gail Benson vowed Monday to pursue rule changes that would prevent the events that helped end her team's season from happening again. Drew Brees and wide receiver Michael Thomas backed out of this weekend's Pro Bowl in Orlando, Florida. Former Houghton Buccaneer and Cowboy starter Dak Prescott, along with his wide receiver Amari Cooper, were chosen as their replacements. The Mudbugs vaulted from 4th place in the NAHL South Division to a tie for 2nd with Monday afternoon's 6-3 win over the Lone Star Brahmas on the road. Mason Balboa earned the win between the pipes. Last year's Robertson Cup champions open a 9-game homestand Friday against Topeka. With Anthony Davis on the shelf the next week or so, the Pelicans needed someone to step up. Last night in a 105-85 win over Memphis on the road, that person was Jalil Okafor, who posted a season-high 20 points and matched his best effort of the year with 10 rebounds. The Beast of the East, Milwaukee, topped the Mavericks 116-106. Dallas rookie Luka Doncic had his first triple-double with 18 points, 11 rebounds, and 10 assists. In Golden State's Klay Thompson tied an NBA record by hitting his first 10 three-pointers en route to a 44-point effort. The Warriors easily dispatched the Lakers 130-111 for their 8th straight win. And in high school hoops, Bossier topped Woodlawn in front of a packed house 75-66. The top-ranked Bearcats moved to 21-3 overall, 7-0 in district play. From the sports desk of 1130 The Tiger, this is Tim Fletcher.
He left us off. I'm sputtering a little bit. I apologize. Kind of hungry. Adams made a Whataburger run, and he left Erin and me off the list.
That's okay.
1017 FM, 710 Keel. You know what I really feel like, and I'm the only I would wager, because I've asked a lot of friends.
You're gross about it. I know what you're going to say.
Is I'm the only one in the world that does this.
Yes, you are. And it's gross.
No, it's awesome.
It's gross.
If I could just get some people to try it, you would be one. I could win you over.
This is disgusting, and I don't even want to hear it.
To my side. I Sonic tater tots. I dunk those in coffee like donuts.
That's disgusting.
It's awesome.
Donuts, I see.
No.
Tater tots,
Sonic tot. Oh, because not only do you get the coffee on your tot, but then when you're all done, you got little tater residue in your coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, it's fabulous.
You know what I saw this morning? Kentucky Fried Chicken is now selling.
What's that? Oh, I saw this. The gravy candles.
Gravy-flavored candles.
Not flavored, because we don't eat
gravy
those.
smelling.
Yeah.
Can you imagine walking into your home and it smells like KFC gravy? Who buys those?
But how different... That's
gross.
When I used to go into my grandmother's house, I would go to I've told you this before. One of my greatest, my most pleasant, my most wonderful childhood memories is going to my nanny's house, because that's what we called her.
Mm-hmm.
Go to my nanny's house on Sunday for supper. And first of all,
Nanny fixed you some good supper.
Let me tell you, she has the greatest Southern/East Texas woman's name of all time.
Oh, yeah.
Mattie Lee Spruill.
Mattie Lee?
Mattie Lee Spruill.
Mattie Lee, you
and
get over here.
She would go to the beauty parlor on Monday.
Yeah.
And get her hair done, and then she would sleep every night on a satin pillow.
Oh, mama too.
The only time she would wash her hair was, she never washed her own hair.
No, we went to the beauty shop.
At the beauty shop, at the beauty parlor to see Miss Fern on Monday.
Yep.
So, back to my nanny story. Sunday supper at my nanny's, Palestine, Texas, mid to late 1950s.
Pretty good smells, I bet.
Fried chicken gizzards. Awesome. Fried chicken gizzards, cream gravy, green beans grown in her backyard like snap beans.
Real snap beans?
And she would saute those in bacon grease.
Oh, my.
Then she would make a coconut cream pie like meringue that was
4 inches tall,
like an NBA player's hair.
Oh,
it
yeah.
was awesome. And then there would be like iced tea in a crystal, not a crystal pitcher. What's it called? Those big, like heavy 200-pound glass ones.
Oh, yeah.
That are like the carved glass. That I got to high school, I still couldn't carry.
Oh,
It
my
was so heavy.
goodness.
So the good old days.
Well, that's what I'm going to get you for your birthday is
You'd
a
walk into her
gravy-smelling
house.
candle.
You'd walk into her house. It would smell awesome.
Oh, I know. But do you want it to smell like that all the time?
And I don't know any place. There's a couple that people say, and I've tried them, and they're kind of meh, where you can get good chicken gizzards.
Yeah.
There was that place at the corner of Burt Coons and Uri for a while. They weren't bad.
Really?
Yeah, but they were small. Yeah. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know where she got her chicken
gizzards.
Chicken gizzards about the size of a human nose.
Oh,
that was horrible.
I'm not eating any gizzards. No, thank you.
They were awesome.
Ugh.
Because I think you can still get them for like 9 cents a pound.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Because I know she'd get them. They would give them to her for free.
Ugh.
28 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Okay, before are we going to cover the subsidy thing again? Or are we going to cover the mayor's security detail? I think we need to talk about, they're going to session today, the city council, I mean. And I think we need to discuss at some point that what the options are, who's going to pay, who's not going to pay, because there are some folks in Shreveport who at least have some degree of their water bill subsidized. And are we talking even more what I call water socialism, garbage socialism? Is it going to, and how much of that subsidy is built into not only your current water bill, but the mayor's proposed $18 fee? Erin has local news up next, 29 past 8 o'clock, 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Reuben time.
Still keeping a close eye on that major accident on Colquitt Road eastbound. It has traffic backed up from Dean Road to Smalley Road right now. And we're looking at some slow-moving traffic on I-20 eastbound near Spring and Market. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline, 687-ROAD.
Well, showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight, lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Oettig at the Weather Channel.
Free offer continues.
Information. KEEL News now.
The Bossier School Board wants voters to fund a teacher pay increase. Superintendent Scott Smith says with the state proposal pending, it's just not enough.
We can't wait for the state. I don't know what the reason or the purpose. I know that there's been talk about asking for $1,000 for teacher pay, and I think $500 maybe for support employee pay. But there's nothing for sure on that. We can't wait on the state. We have an issue now that we have to deal with.
Smith says if approved, this property tax increase would boost pay by $7,200 for professional employees and $3,000 for support workers. Now, this would be a property tax millage increase, costing the owner of a $250,000 home about $33 more a month. A Bossier Parish judge refuses a motion to reduce bail for a Bossier police officer accused of sexual abuse of animals. Terry Yetman accused of possessing and participating in pornography involving animals. The judge also ruled that state police had sufficient evidence to arrest Yetman. He remains locked up. He's being held on a $350,000 bond. Deliberations continue in a Barksdale Airman's murder trial. Matt Parker with the latest.
Airman First Class Isaiah Edwards was convicted of murder last week in the stabbing death of Airman First Class Bradley Hale. Today, the 7-member jury will resume deliberations to decide Edwards' fate. The prosecution is asking the panel for the maximum sentence of life in prison without parole. The defense has asked that Edwards receive no more than 10 years. From 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL, I'm Matt Parker.
Shreveport Council expected to talk about Mayor Perkins' $18 a month Clean City fee at today's meeting. The fee would be used to pay for trash service in the city and give sanitation workers a raise. The mayor also says without having to pay for trash services, the city could start building back up the reserve fund. Several council members telling KEEL News that while they agree the sanitation department needs more money, they're not sure if a monthly fee is the answer. More than 400,000 Saints fans demanding a rematch of the NFC Championship game. An online petition demanding that the NFL order a rematch between the Saints and the Rams is gaining traction and has been signed by more than 400,000 folks. Former Congressman John Fleming considering a run at the governor's mansion. According to several sources, Fleming strongly considering running for governor this year. If he does decide to jump in, he would be joining fellow Republicans Ralph Abraham and Eddie Risponi in the race. Now, as the 2020 presidential primary takes shape, almost no policy is too liberal for Democrats fighting to win over their base, that base demanding a nominee dedicated to pursuing bold action. So far, virtually all the likely candidates have embraced universal health care in one form or another. Local officials in Texas calling for an end to the partial government shutdown as it continues into its 5th week. Attorney Thelma Clardy gathered with a group outside the federal building in Dallas to raise concerns. The acting chair of the Southwest Dallas County Democrats spoke on the Fox TV affiliate about the lack of progress being made.
I don't blame anybody. What I do regret is that our congressional leaders and the president can't come together to the table to work out a compromise. So they need to do the job that we pay them to do.
800,000 federal employees are being affected. Big oops for Fox and Friends. They showed a graphic saying Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg had died. They've apologized, blaming a control room error. I'm Erin McCarty on 101.7 FM and
.101.7 FM, 710 KEEL, Robert and Erin. No, there is not going to be, I just want to say this out loud.
Okay.
Because there are, I saw this a billion times yesterday. And I don't know how many Saints fans think there is any kind of, if this is legit. I swear to you, they're not going to play the game again.
No, they're not. There is a change.org petition.
They're not going to pick the game up with like a minute, whatever to go,
right?
And give the Saints the ball first and goal at the 6 or whatever, like the pass interference penalty had been called. It's not going to happen.
No,
I'm sorry.
Sign the petition though. That's okay.
Now, did you see what's her name? Benson. What's his daughter's name? Gail Benson, who now owns the. Did you read her statement? It was basically, thanks to the fans, y'all are awesome. We got screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a very roundabout, circuitous, very ladylike and polite and business-appropriate, business-wise way of saying, and we got screwed.
Yeah. Billboards have gone up, by the way, in Atlanta that say, The NFL blew it, BLEAUX.
Yeah, that's cute. That would be blow, by the way. But
yeah, NFL blow it too.
Yeah, well,
that's kind of how I feel.
And exactly.
I just
saw
Saints
that
got screwed.
I agree. Look, and I mentioned this to a couple of friends yesterday, and you'll remember exactly what I'm talking about. I have a couple of friends who are who are such avid Saints fans that they literally were grieving after the game. Do you remember? And this is the perfect example, and I'm not being facetious, and I'm not poking fun. In fact, he's still a friend of mine, and we all felt for him. Do you remember when Tom Michaels was doing the morning show on the old Cat Country? Going back, this has got to be almost 20 years.
Sure.
Well, he's over at 98 now, which is not the point.
Right.
Tom Michaels was an insane Dale Earnhardt fan. He loved Dale Earnhardt.
Yes.
He had a 3 on his truck. He had jackets with 3. I mean, he literally worshipped at the altar of Dale Earnhardt. Well, when Dale Earnhardt was killed, it was on a Sunday. He came in Monday morning. He was working.
Mm-hmm.
And literally, I remember people who worked here with all the sincerity in the world would go in and offer their condolences. He was morose. He was sad. He was grieving.
It was like he lost a family member.
My point exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And the only thing I can liken this to, from a sports point of view, other than the Mudbugs losing to Laredo in that Game 7 where they scored the winning goal twice, Muskie will tell you that they'll never get over that.
Right.
They'll imagine being in the championship game, you score the winning goal twice, and twice the official, Steve Cruikshank, waves it off.
Yeah.
But the point being, the only thing that in my memory that I can liken this to as far as people I know was when Dale Earnhardt was killed, and you felt so bad for Tom Michaels.
Yeah.
101.7 FM, 710 Keel. It's 8:39 traffic time now. Ruben's here.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street, downtown Shreveport. And we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic due to an accident on Colquitt Road near Dean Road. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness traffic hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
The showers rolling in later this morning and staying with us through the afternoon up to 63. The rain continues through the night tonight. Lows tonight down to 33. Rain ends early tomorrow with sunshine for the afternoon, mid-40s for highs. And Thursday, sunny skies in the forecast, mid-50s. Dry Friday, high 51. Richard Wettig at the Weather Channel.
Early.
If by early you mean at all, yes. Jeez. 101.7 FM, 710 Keel. Robert J. Wright and Erin McCarty. Jack Spring Electric Shockbuster Button is always at the ready. Sadly, we missed it as she did that really awesome Michael Jackson impression.
Mm-hmm.
So the city council meets in open session today. They had the work session on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
They meet in open session today where the mayor's $18, Mayor Adrian Perkins, $18 a month garbage fee will be introduced. The legislation will be, how does that work, by the way? I've never been to a city council. I mean, is it at some point it's written by the mayor or people in the mayor's office, and they deliver it. Who
Depends
authors the bill?
It depends on who started it. City council members can have their staff draft an ordinance. The mayor can have his staff draft an ordinance.
So
and
in
it usually
this case,
goes.
that would probably be.
It went probably through the city attorney's office, I would imagine, or through his CAO, drafting an ordinance. And now, an ordinance to be passed in the city of Shreveport has to have 2 readings. And an ordinance is on a first reading, which is what this is now, and then it lays over for 2 weeks, and it'll come up on the agenda as ordinances on second reading.
So let me see if I understand this. Later today, meeting starts at 3 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Someone will introduce the mayor's ordinance for the $18 a month fee. At that point, there will be discussion. There will be debate.
Well, there'll be a motion and a second.
Yeah.
To
So how
pass this
exactly? So at some point, the city council takes this over, and then they make their changes, their amendments, what they like, what they don't like. They make it longer. They make it shorter. They increase the amount. They lessen the amount, whatever it happens to be.
Mm-hmm. They will each city council member has a right to amend them, but to amend it, you have to have an amendment, and you have to have somebody who seconds it.
Okay, so
like I amend Parky's
hat.
His hat.
Yeah.
You second it.
Yeah, I do.
And then we vote, and if the majority votes, then his hat's gone.
So basically, do they just go around in a circle and say, what do you think about it? Each council member speaks on their thoughts.
They get
if
it.
They have any amendments.
The council chairman kind of handles this, and people acknowledge that they want to speak, and then he goes in order when they want to speak.
The point I'm making is this is at 3 o'clock.
This could go on forever.
Not so much that, but just to watch. I said last week as we started to discuss this, that this is such an awesome example of how democracy works.
Mm-hmm.
And to be there today to watch the different amendments to see what, say, for example, Councilman Bowman wants to change, or Butcher likes or doesn't like, or Nicholson says, why don't we alter this? And then they have to get somebody to second it. So you got to get...
Well, you may not have the amendments today. That may come in 2 weeks.
Really?
Yeah, we're just going to introduce it, let it lay over and smolder for a couple of weeks.
Okay, now
here's the thing. Typically, and then this is a little inside baseball, typically if I'm a council member and I want to push an amendment, I'm going to line up my votes first before I ever go to all the trouble of writing. If my amendment has no chance of passing, why waste the time?
Okay, so when we last week sort of informally canvassed each of the 7 city council people, I got the impression, and maybe we didn't ask the question the right way. Maybe we didn't lean on them in the proper. I got the sense that at that point, nobody from the Perkins administration was really, for lack of a better term, beating them up to vote for this. Did you?
Oh, he was pretty strong Friday. He was pretty strong at the council meeting Friday. Pretty strong about this is urgent. We need to move forward with this. Credit rating agencies could be here any moment and we'll get downgraded, and that will cost us millions now
true?
And in the future.
You're
waiting on one.
Is that legit, or is that a global warming type
threat?
No.
Moody's has come, and the other one, what's the other big one? I forget. Standard & Poor's. We expect them any day to come and check out our financials.
But does that in fact have more to do with the lack of money in the reserve fund than anything else? Jerry Bowman said earlier this hour, he said, the mayor is, this is practically a quote, I think I got it on the money.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor is adamant about building the reserve fund.
Oh, I totally agree. We have let the reserve fund fall to red lights should be going off in every one of their heads. But if I'm a new city council member and I just got elected, you want the very first big piece of legislation that I vote on to be essentially what everyone in town is going to call a tax. And Cedric Glover says it's the largest tax in the city's history. I don't know if that's accurate. I'll do a little work on that. Do you want to be known as the city council member who voted on the biggest increase in the city's history? Right out of jump?
I think when you make the case, like Jerry Bowman said, what Mr. Bowman said, practically everybody, if it ain't going to be $18, it's going to be something.
It's going to have to be a phase in.
Or it's going to be some kind of fee.
And it'll be interesting to watch the mayor at that point when they say, we're not going to give you 18. We're going to give you 10. Or we're going to give you 8. Does he pack up his does he pack up his camp and,
well,
it's not good enough, I'm at it. That's not going to do it.
Okay, so let's wrap it up with this. A couple of points I want to make. Number one is the only thing that could actually be voted on today would be a motion to kill this ordinance.
Yeah, they could absolutely table it or kill it. Remove it from the agenda.
So table it means we'll come back in a couple of weeks, look at it again, and it's still open to be voted on and or passed down the line.
You have to pull it off the table, yeah.
Does there have to be a motion to kill the ordinance? To
Yeah,
kill the bill?
they would have to have a motion
it may not
to
even come
delete
to that.
it from the agenda.
Gotcha. But somebody has to make that motion.
Yes.
And somebody has to second that motion before they would make that vote.
Who have I been contacting over the last couple of weeks to try to get him to come on the radio with us? I've been contacting his people.
Over the last couple of weeks. The governor of Louisiana.
Yeah, and his people have said, we'll try.
John Bell Edwards.
We'll try.
Yeah.
Well, his people didn't help me. Then I got, mysteriously, Friday, I got a text from his campaign people.
So wait a second.
He's got them, yeah.
Hang on, kid. This is not coming from the administrative
Nope,
side.
nope.
It is coming from the campaign side.
Oh, yeah. He
So-
wants to be on the radio. So we're going to do it tomorrow.
What time?
7:35-ish, somewhere in there. He's agreed.
About 10 or 12 minutes. with the
10 or
governor.
12 minutes, wide open, whatever we want to ask him. Of course, he wants to talk about his campaign.
Start thinking about this now.
Yeah.
As we will, the Shreveport Security Systems text line. Just
All
to
of
give
a
you
sudden, he's our buddy again.
318-392-1884. What would you like us to ask the governor?
Oh,
If
yeah.
it crosses your mind today, send it along. If it crosses your mind in the morning, certainly we'll talk about it more then. 849, 1017 FM, 710 Keel. Ruben's ready.
Looking right now at some slow-moving traffic on Texas Street in downtown Shreveport, and we're still keeping an eye on some backed-up traffic due to an accident on Colquitt Road near Dean Road. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687-ROAD.
Keel Weather Channel forecast: increasing clouds, a chance of rain increasing later today. A little warmer today, high in the low to middle 60s. Right now, 53 at Keel. It's 850. Here's your money now.
You're listening to American Ground Radio's Morning Minute.
This weekend, New Orleans had their brand new gun buyback program. Unfortunately, they only had $100,000 to spend, so they could only buy guns from 200 people.
This goes to prove that our elected officials have more of our money than they do any good ideas of their own. And it's also proof positive that government spending is wasteful. It's just more people spending other people's money on other people, and that's the most wasteful way to spend money at all.
Witnesses at the scene say there are lots of people in line who had brand new guns in brand new boxes who didn't get to sell them, which means New Orleans probably has more guns on the street than they did before the buyback.
American Ground Radio, where building a better America begins with building a better us. Return each weeknight from 6 to 7 p.m. with Louis R. Avalone and Stephen Parr on 101.7 FM and 710 KEEL and streaming live at KEELnews.com.
Okay, we've got about 2.5 minutes here. I sent you an email earlier this morning, and I want you to open it, and I want you to read the headline, and then I just want you to read the story. I just want you to start reading the story.
Okay, let me see. Let me copy this in mine.
It'll just talk about political correctness gone insane.
Run amok.
And this is from England. This is from the what's it called? The whatever their health service is called. Read what it says.
Men who identify as women invited to be screened for cervical cancer. Wait.
Read the story.
To clarify, men do not have a cervix. The cervix is the tissue that connects the V and the uterus.
Nice job.
Which are female reproductive organs. Male reproductive organs have never included and will never include a V, a U, or a cervix.
Bingo. Keep going.
However, despite this biological reality,
right,
the Public Health Agency in the UK published a brochure explaining the National Health Service's cancer screening program, which includes services for people who identify as transgender. The agency offers cervical screenings to transgender men who are registered with a general practitioner as a woman.
Okay. Doctors don't do anything for free. Can you imagine the waste of money alone, the morality of this aside? Can you imagine the waste of money at every level of the British healthcare bureaucracy? That they're sending out letters to men who identify as trans. They're urging them to come in. They're making appointments. They're seeing them to go, oh, by the way, put your feet in the stirrups. Ew. The point I make, what a total and complete insanity.
But wait, when some people get their private parts rebuilt.
Look. Now, just go ahead.
They don't rebuild and put in a cervix, do they?
No, you can't. You can't.
So they're not adding they're just adding a V, perhaps.
Maybe.
Removing a D and adding a V.
I'm back to my initial point. What a waste of time, money, and effort, and we're not even talking about the moral aspect.
This is the stupidest thing.
Well, welcome to England. Governor John Bell Edwards tomorrow morning. That was an uncomfortable segue, but I enjoyed it. Robert J. Wright, Erin McCarty. Here's Kim Commando on KEEL.
Maybe you're the one person who has never had a Twitter or Facebook account. The massive social media network computers don't know anything about you, right? Wrong. They know a lot. Kim Commando with your Tuesday Consumer Tech Update, brought to you by SimpliSafe, the most innovative and comprehensive wireless protection for your home. Order yours right now at simplysafekim.com. There is truly no place left to hide online. Researchers from the University of Vermont found that by looking at the profiles of people who you know on Twitter and Facebook, the computer algorithms can make some pretty good guesses about you. It doesn't take a lot either. Say you don't use social media. Well, the social media networks need access to just 8 of your contacts to accurately predict 2/3 of the time what you like, dislike, and how you'd respond to a situation. Wow, you don't post a thing and the computers are wrong only 1/3 of the time. How'd you like to be married to that? I'm Kim Commando. For years, I've been telling you about my printer of choice, the Epson EcoTank 4750. And it's easy to tell you why. It's revolutionary, it's wireless, and a complete all-in-one printer that's 100% cartridge-free. Now, I don't know about you, but I used to hate to having my print jobs interrupted just to replace an ink cartridge. Now, there's no more hassle with the Epson EcoTank 4750 because it comes with up to 2 years of ink right in the box. That's enough to print up to 11,000 color pages, and that's equivalent to about 30 ink cartridge sets. If I had to go buy 30 cartridge sets, that would cost me about $1,500. I love my Epson EcoTank printer, and I know you will too. And from now till March 31st, buy any EcoTank printer at epson.com/EcoTankKim and get free overnight shipping when you use promo code EcoTankKim at checkout.
Offer valid within the 48 contiguous states. Exclusions apply, subject to availability.
Keeping an eye right now on some slow-moving traffic on Texas Avenue near Mansfield Road. And we're still keeping a close eye on that minor accident on Colquitt Road near Dean Road. If you have anything to report to us, give us a call at our Planet Fitness Traffic Hotline. That's 687.
KEEL Weather Channel forecast, kind of cloudy, a little warmer today, low to middle 60s. Chance of rain late today and tonight, and getting colder through the rest of the week. 52 at KEEL, 9 o'clock, Fox News.
Breaking news and trending talk. KEEL, 710 AM and K269GO, 1017 FM, Shreveport.